Back with Military Move Monday, and I have my dear friend John Duncan here with me today. Last week we discussed your pre-approval process. So today we're discussing what that next step will be. Once you have your pre-approval for your home loan and your realtor or your agent has that pre-approval as well, what are the next steps? So I do want to introduce John really quickly. He's a realtor in South Carolina, but he is also an active duty soldier who is soon to be retired, and he is a realtor as well. We have done several transactions together. Great teamwork, great team effort, just two veterans wanting to help our soldiers get into their homes smoothly. So, John, if you would tell us just a little bit about your background, your family, and what you do now.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for having me, Maria. I really do
Yeah.
appreciate it. And what you're doing for soldiers on a consistent daily basis is amazing. My name is John Duncan. Just like Marie said, I work with Excel Real Estate. The company that I own is Upside Property by way of Excel. I am a father, a husband of four beautiful babies. I have twins, and I cannot wait to retire. So that's pretty much it. That's who I am.
So, John, so you are a soldier who
Yep.
I am assuming has moved several times during your military career with the family. Have there been any hiccups, anything with the mortgage process as you have purchased homes at different duty stations?
So that's a great question. Well, I bought my first property when I was 21 years old. Didn't know what I was doing. I was an E5. I got back from Iraq. I had $8,000 in the bank, and I thought I was rich. I was going to go buy me a motorcycle or go buy a Mustang because I always wanted one of those. But my aunt told me, John, you want to buy a home? And I said, sure, I'll buy a home. And I didn't even know anything about the VA benefits that I was entitled to. So my aunt got me in contact with this developer who was a real estate developer, but retired sergeant major. And he started telling me, John, you can buy a house. You don't have to put any money down. And I didn't have a slightest idea what he was talking about, but that was the VA benefits. So when I got pre-approved, I found the house, and it was a very easy transition, right? And then when I was hooked after that. When I came back from Iraq for the second time, I ended up buying more properties, and that time I used FHA. Then you
Mm.
fast forward to 2018. I'm married, I have children, and we end up purchasing our forever home, which I'm in now. And we use the VA benefits, which it was awesome. It was absolutely flawless. Didn't have any issues, any setbacks, or anything of that nature. And so when we moved here, it was a blessing. I put no money down out of my pocket, and my family's happy.
That is awesome. So, would you say a big part of making that move smooth
Mhm.
is the lender realtor transition from pre-approval to getting that pre-approval in your hand? Would you say that's true?
Yeah, it was very easy. For
Yeah.
myself, when I purchased, if you go back to 2003, it was easy, and you go back to 2018, it was easy. Now transitioning to being a realtor and working with lenders like yourself, Marie, hey, I need that pre-approval letter. You do your lender stuff, and when I say stuff, respectfully, and then you give me that pre-approval letter. Once I have that pre-approval letter in my hand for tons of soldiers that I've helped for the last almost 5 years, I know that I can get them in the property. And most of the time,
Right.
when you have other realtors that see VA, they're very happy when they see it because they know that it's a guaranteed loan, and that soldier or that veteran or that retiree is going to get into a property.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. I think the VA loan is the best loan out there for our soldiers by
Yeah.
far. $0 down. So John, so once you have that pre-approval and
Mhm.
your client has that pre-approval, what do you do with it? Like, what is the communication? Let's say someone is in another state, they're PCSing to Fort Jackson or to Shaw or to Charleston. What do you do in communication with that client at that point?
Right. So that's a great question. That's like the first step I always tell my clients. Like, let's get you pre-approved so we'll know our left and right limits. I mean, if you get pre-approved for $1 million because you have excellent credit and tons of money in the bank, or it's a case-by-case basis, doesn't mean that you have to go out there and find $1 million home, right? If it's $700,000, you say, John, hey, I want to stay within this price point because they've already discussed with you, Marie, of what their mortgage payment is going to look like.
Right,
So I
right.
know they don't want to go as low as 250 and they don't want to go as any higher than 350. So once I do that, the next thing I want to find out is how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, what location they want to live in. And once they give me all those dispositions, then I go to work. I'll start sending them homes. I'll start emailing them. I'll start texting them. You'll get flooded with homes that meet your criteria. And I want to say this, Marie, that I deal with a lot of soldiers that are from overseas, that's coming from Korea or Hawaii or Japan in some cases, or Germany. And tons of them have moved here before they even, through a virtual tour I've done, after they've been pre-approved. And I'll walk through that house and I'll show them the home. And then they'll say, yeah, oh, John, this is it. I love this home, or no, it's not. But once we find that home, and we write a contract down, we get a contract, I'll send it to you, Marie, and
Mm.
then you go to work.
I do. Yeah, I think that's an awesome point that you just pointed out too. My husband and I have been overseas, and then we go to purchase a home we were in Japan,
Okay.
pur- purchasing in Colorado Springs. So we had to depend on that realtor so much. I
Yeah.
think we looked at 3 or 4 different homes. She was there to do walkthroughs for us. She actually became our power of attorney and signed for us. So I don't know how we would have gotten it done without a really, really good realtor who had our best interests in mind.
And that could be nerve-wracking, you know?
Yeah,
Are they being honest? Are they showing you everything? You know,
right.
you're buying blind and you have to
Yeah,
trust that realtor to get you where you need to go. So
exactly.
that's important. So when you got into your property, was it everything that you guys wanted?
It was for
That's good.
sure. Yep,
Yeah.
it was great, but we trusted her enough through the process. We didn't know her initially, but through the process, we were like, oh, okay, yeah, she's good. She's gonna do what we asked. So I think a key point as you guys are PCSing, find a good realtor. Honestly, I cannot stress enough, find a veteran realtor who has been in your shoes and they can relate.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
So in upside property, by way of Excel, I'm soon to be a veteran, right? And I have Lisa Capoci, I have Jose Mondragon, and Brantley Butler. All of them are active duty, soon to be retired, soldier realtors. And
Awesome.
we know the rigmarole, just like you said, Marie, like what it takes to PCS, how stressful that can be. And what we do is take pride off of taking those stressors off of you and
Yes,
let us put it on our backs. So when you get here, all you have to do is get your key and walk into your home. Because you have to worry about
absolutely.
PCSing, like, you know, packing is one thing. That's a whole different ball of wax. And then, getting the kids in the car and packing all your stuff and heading on down to your next duty station.
Yep.
Having you as a lender and just walking them through the process of the lending side and having a veteran, you're a veteran and you know what it takes. Having a veteran realtor on the side that knows exactly what you're going through and take those
Right.
stressors off of you. It's just a win-win. Yeah,
Good one. It's a win-win.
it's a win-win.
Yep. Cool. All right. Let's see. You are in South Carolina. You have 3 military bases there. You got Fort Jackson, you got Shaw Air Force Base, and you got Joint Base Charleston.
Mhm.
Can you kind of give us just a brief rundown of what that housing market is looking like? I know they vary in those different areas, but
So I sold homes in all 3 of those markets. I also have a couple listings in Sumter right now, which is in Shaw. Here in Columbia, South Carolina, you have neighboring counties. You have Lexington County, you have Kershaw County, you have West Columbia, Lexington 1 and Lexington 2. And all these markets in the Northeast, and you have Blythewood, which is in Richland County. And the median right now that's going is around 230 to 250, $250,000. And when you start going out to the Lexington County, you're averaging about 200,000, and it goes from 200,000 upwards of 230. And then you have a sweet spot of Irmo, which is between Lexington and Chapin. You're looking at around 200 to $270,000. And a lot of people are migrating to the Columbia area because of the cost of living is way cheaper than living in, New York or living in California, or out west. And then when you get into the Sumter market, it's a little lower due to the fact that Sumter is a little further away. Shaw Air Force Base isn't as large as you have as in Fort Jackson. And then when you go to the Charleston market, it's a lot higher. And the reason being, when you're looking at Charleston, it's a vacation destination. They have Amazon down there, Volvo down there, Boeing is down there.
Yeah.
There's a lot, Mercedes. And these are factories. I'm talking about their storefronts of dealerships. These are factories. They're making a lot of these products. And so a lot of people are migrating down there, and you have the port as well, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of industry stuff going on down there. So in turn, the cost of living in Charleston it's higher, right? But it's also a beautiful spot. So your price point, you're looking at on average at the low end, about 350, and it can shoot all the way up to the millions.
Yeah.
Plus, that's what it is.
Yeah, keep in mind too, though, as you guys PCS, you're going to get what's called locality pay. So the government is giving you extra money based on the cost of living for that area. Mm-hmm. So they do that with Charleston as well, Joint Base Charleston. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I want to tell a story when you're talking about cost of living. So when I was in New York, I left being a drill sergeant, and I ended up going up to New York. I got promoted to E7. And my BAH was 1832. So we had the option of buy a home off post, or do we want to stay on post? And if you're watching this video and you know anything about upstate New York, it snows like crazy. So we opted to live on post. And when I got promoted, my BAH was 1832. We stayed there for 4 years. I did the math. I spent over $88,000 on rent. And when we turned in the keys, they said, "Thank you so much. Have a good day." And they put somebody else in that property. Wow. But I want to say that if you buy a home and you're in Sumter, Charleston, or here at Fort Jackson, you're coming here and you are debating on if you want to live off post or you want to live on post. Well, when you're living on post, you're renting. And I always tell people, when you rent, you own nothing. If you're coming here to be a drill sergeant, or you're just coming here to be cadre or whatnot, I strongly recommend you live off post, because you get to get in the school district that you want for your children. You get to be close to the water. We have beautiful Lake Murray here. Or if that's not your thing, you can live in the Northeast in Blythewood. And I can find you a home that Maria will get you pre-approved. I can find you a home, and you will, every time you pay your mortgage, not your rent, when you pay your mortgage, you're paying yourself. So I have tons of soldiers, Marie, that come here, whether they're drill sergeants or they're just cadre, and they'll get pre-approved. They live in a house for 2 or 3 years. They leave. They say, "John, we either want to rent it out and make money, or we want to sell it and make money." Right? Mm-hmm. And so it's a win-win-win. And the third win is you are purchasing a home. Now, some of the norms I hear when they come here, Maria, and maybe you hear it as well, is, "I'm not going to be here long. I don't plan on retiring here. I absolutely hate Fort Jackson. I hate Shaw, whatever the situation may be. So I'm going to rent." And I tell them, "Hey, look, even though you hate it here, Maria and I want you to love your home that you live in. So it won't make the hate sting so bad," right? So yeah. If you're here for 4 years and you're paying $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 per month for rent, I think that Marie can get you approved. And I think I can find you a home where you pay your mortgage and you're paying yourself at the same time.
Right.
Just paying $88,000 for rent for 4 years, just it's gut wrenching, right?
Right. It's totally gone. Yeah. And I think you have an amazing point too.
Yeah.
If you don't like a certain base, and I think we've all been there, we have bases that were not our favorite. Your home is your retreat. So you are absolutely right. Purchase a home that you love, leave base for the day, and you go to your retreat.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Your home is your retreat. I'm still in that. I love that.
All right. Well, you kind of covered my last question, the pros to living off base. We kind of covered it, guys. And I just want to say too, like, we are here for you guys. If you have any questions at all, John is a phone call away. I am as well. We really just want to answer any questions you may have in order to just take that PCS stress away as much as we can on our parts anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
So I want to do a shameless plug. I got to put some of my information out there.
Yeah.
So if you want to get in contact with me, just give me a call, 803-319-6872. Once again, that's 803-319-6872. You can go to my website, Upside Property. That's upsidepropertysc.com. We have listings on there. There's homes on there. And I just got to say thank you so much, Marie, for having me. You are after a soldier's heart. You are amazing. She's very professional and prompt, and she gets the job done. So, in 2023, I plan on doing way more deals with Marie. We've had conversations, and I've thrown her tons of leads. And listen, these clients are going to be very excited with the level of customer service. And, it's amazing how you get down and how you work day in and day out. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, John.
I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you too. And I'm going to put John's info. You guys will see it above this video. So we're going to link that all in together as well. So if you are PCSing to South Carolina, I cannot stress this enough. You cannot be in better hands than with John Duncan and Upside Property team. I say that with full confidence, guys. All right. Well, you guys take care. Reach out if you have any questions at all. We love you guys.
All right, guys. Take care. We're going to go from here. Peace.